Good evening, Anchor Church. I will admit I am not a big fan of driving. After 8 years of living overseas and not having to drive at all, this is probably one of my least favorite parts about America. Our cars, in fact, have seemed to me become our second home. We drive everywhere. In fact, as I was driving the other day to take our son to the library, I started thinking of all the places I go. I go to the grocery store to shop. I go to the bank, to the movies, to the library to check out books. I go to the homes of my family and friends, out to eat and shop. My husband, good grief, even drives an hour to work every day. We go to church on Sunday. We even spend long hours in the car just to go on vacation. As this long list kept ticking through my mind, the question came, who are all of these trips for? And shockingly, I could only answer one thing, and that was me. Even going to church, this was mainly for me and for my family. My desires were literally driving me and moving me to places, desires to take care of my family, to be entertained, or even to personally, spiritually grow. All of these desires were to meet my own personal needs. But what stopped me in my tracks was that not once could I actually say that my desire for people to know the name of Jesus Christ, that never once had that desire pushed me to get in the car, to make a planned path towards people who needed to know his name and to step on that accelerator as fast as I could to tell other people about him. Never once had I been purposeful in my driving in that way. This led me to a memory of when I was in Cambodia a few years back. One morning, the orphanage director announced to the kids that a special gift was coming from the capital. They were to receive a van in which they had 24 hours to do whatever they wanted with. That morning, they all decided together that they were going to go to the nearest village, which was an hour away. So all 20 children piled in the back, and their plan was to go visit the village, share the name of Jesus Christ, lay hands on the elderly, and pray for their healing. These kids ranged from about 4 to 10 years old. I was shocked beyond belief because this decision was not from the orphanage director, but rather from the children. They could have gone anywhere, but they chose to share Jesus. There are men and women in countries whose deepest desire is to simply go, and yet this is difficult because they do not have the resources to go very far. Romans 10:15 says, "How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news." Yes, this is so very true, but what if those feet could go further and could go faster and reach more towns and people, and they didn't have to walk? What if we as Anchor Church took part in fulfilling their desire to go as far as they could by helping them purchase bicycles? Wouldn't that be amazing? I will tell you, each time I get in the car now, I can't help but think of this. And I pray that God would work in us as a church to give so that it enables the gospel to spread further. And I pray that the communities that these people go to will be touched. But equally so, I also pray for my own heart that at its base would have such a burning desire to go anywhere, even if it's right down the street from where I live, so that whether we walk or ride, our desire is that all may know Jesus Christ.